Hey, yo, Wes. Yeah, happy birthday, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
How's it feel to be 26?
Well, but here I am, and my mom's gonna come pick me up soon, and we're gonna go to the airport together. I'm gonna film a lot of that, but yeah, man, super excited. It's my last time here in LA. We'll see what happens.
I remember when I turned 25. I'm not much for celebrating my birthday, but I was in Venice, Italy, sharing a Prosecco bottle with this Australian girl named Isabella. The hostel gave it to me for free as a birthday gift. That time was special for me because it was the first time I really got to experience cultures differently and meet some people who had a very heavy influence on the biggest decision I've ever made in my life. 25 was growth. They often talk about this thing, which is like a quarter life crisis. And when I first heard it, I was like, wait, is that like menopause for 20-year-olds? And it turns out, yeah, that's exactly what it is. I think 25 is a special year because it's a time where the person you were groomed to be is forced to confront the person that you truly are. It's like you're looking at this crossroad with one path labeled the heart and the other one labeled the head. And it's not to say that the decision you make is going to affect the rest of your life, but I think it's at this moment we truly feel the gravity of life. For years, I had this dream of moving to a Latin American country and learning how to speak Spanish. I wasn't sure how it was going to happen, but it was always in the back of my head. The pressures of family and LA culture really got to my head, and I found myself working a lot, but sacrificing my happiness in the process. When I was 22, I started doing real estate, and I thought I had convinced myself that this is what I wanted because I was getting the validation and approval from everybody that I met. My friends will tell you that at this time, I was not pleasant to be around. But I don't regret my time in real estate because it gave me the money I needed to eventually invest in myself and start pursuing music like I've always wanted to. I wasn't being true to myself, and I only did it because I thought society would approve of real estate because it was like a regular job. But on top of a toxic home life, it found me angry almost all of the time. And that's when I decided to do something drastic, so I took a leap of faith. 25 was a year of faith. I took a huge gamble coming into this country. With one backpack, one suitcase, and a little faith in myself and God, I booked a one-way ticket to Bogota, a completely new country with no friends in a language I can't speak on a one-way ticket. Not to mention this little thing called COVID-19. But my heart told me to leave, and so I jumped. I completely left my old life behind and I came to start a new one. And I now know the universe rewards those who have faith in themselves. I also rediscovered my faith in God. For the longest time, I didn't go to church because I was scared of going into a new church and being a part of a community. But through His grace, He has shown me what happens if you act from faith instead of fear. Ever since I started going to church again, everything I have prayed for has come to me. I prayed for purpose and I prayed for love. And now God is calling me to serve. I recently got accepted into a volunteer program teaching English to local schools that will allow me to stay until December of next year. The opportunity literally came out of nowhere, and now my visa situation is all sorted out. I learned to put my faith in complete strangers, and I've seen the true kindness of the world, even though we are constantly shown the worst parts of it. And ultimately, it taught me to put faith in the process, knowing that God is putting you through things that you can handle so you can become the person that you both know you can be. And I think there's beauty in that. 25 was healing. I have been very angry for a long time. I had a lot of pent-up resentment and anger for how my dad treated me growing up, and I noticed that it affected a lot of how I came off to the world. But this isn't who I wanted to be. So I made the decision to do the work, and oh boy is it work. I've been attending therapy since around March when a random woman on Facebook watched one of my videos. She recommended me to this Asian couple from the Bay who worked on emotional therapy. I decided to do it, and I'm so thankful for them because we began unpacking tons and tons of layers of my life. Going deep into my childhood, I was forced to confront all of this anger and trauma.
What are some of the differences you've seen in my journey from like when we first started up until now?
So let's start with how you used to be. Okay, so you used to be really angry. You used to be very angry, and honestly, anyone who's very angry is essentially a mask for grief. When you were not shown an example of how to healthfully process your emotions, if you always were seeing someone process their emotions angrily when you're a kid, how do you think you're going to react? And then I know when you were telling me about your dad, a lot of how he was just always angry. And that's what you grew up to be. So you didn't know how to manage your emotions. And so in your anger, I also saw a lot of hurt and pain. And it transpired a lot in your initial issues of why you came to us. Yeah, your anger and stuff, but you also came to us with your skin problems. All of your pain was manifesting into your body reacting, whether it be through depression, anxiety, anger, or physical ailments like your skin was literally, your body was screaming at you to let all that ugly go. I am a huge proponent of therapy because therapy, the acknowledgement of therapy means you acknowledge that you have checked your ego, because it takes a lot of strength to check your ego. And with all those negative connotations of, oh my God, that person goes to therapy, they must be crazy. Like, no. Going to therapy proves that you're very aware of yourself and you want to heal.
I found a way to navigate through my pain and eventually ended up in forgiveness. I've accepted some truths about my life and some truths about my family. And this acceptance has given me something so valuable: freedom. Being kind in the face of tragedy and bad situations takes a level of self-awareness and courage that most people don't have. And it's through this kindness we can truly impact people. I've seen the impact of kindness and how it inspires other people. Hurt people, but healed people. And I've decided to have faith in the kindness of humanity. 25 was a year of love. I learned that I never really understood what love was, what it means to truly love somebody, until I met Kimmy. Instant connection is real. I've seen it. I'm very thankful for our time together because she taught me a lot of things about kindness, acceptance, and love. I fell in love with making videos. I always wanted my voice to be heard, but I never had anything to say. And it's through this channel that I finally found my voice. I found love in friendship. The quarantine showed me how your friends could become your family. That in times of crisis, that friendship can be just as thick as blood. And how important that is, knowing that you have support no matter where it comes from. I found love in my family. The space gave me room to think, to develop, and to discover who I truly am. And now I can return a fuller person with open arms and a loving heart. I realized why I fantasize a relationship but can never seem to be happy when in one. Because from a young age, I was never in an environment where I felt true unconditional love. And the thought of it scared me. But not anymore. I've chosen to act from love and kindness, to give as much as I can and to love others with my whole heart. And it's only through this that you can really live life. 25 is weird. You're not technically young, but 30 still seems pretty far off. You're not expected to be successful yet, but at least to have an idea of what you want to do with your life. Success will come over time when you work on something long enough. Why not focus on your own happiness?